All right, it is time for our crappy culture. So Kanye West, God love the man, went on Saturday Night Live. He was a late replacement on Saturday Night Live to host it. And when it was toward the end of it, he put on a MAGA hat. And he went on, and this part was cut out, I think. This did not make the final cut. He went on and gave a kind of speech. All they do is call it a rant. How you can tell when Kanye West is ranting as opposed to when he's speaking, I have no idea. But Kanye West went on, and it's kind of hard to hear, but let's play a little bit of it anyway.
Blacks weren't always Democrats. You know, it's like a plan they did to take the fathers out of the home and promote welfare. Does anybody know about that? That's a Democratic plan. And so many times I talk to like a white person about this and they say, how could you like Trump? He's racist. Well, if I was concerned about racism, I would have moved out of America a long time ago. We don't just make our decisions. And that is bothering me.
So he's kind of half rapping, half talking. He says, I want to cry right now. A black man in America is supposed to keep what you feel inside right now. He says, the blacks want always Democrats. He says, you know, it's like the plan they did to take the fathers out of the home and promote welfare. Does anybody know about that? That's a Democratic plan. That's not a rant. That is actually a kind of a truth. That what he's talking about is back in the 60s and 70s when they were designing welfare, Daniel Patrick Moynihan said, you know, if you do this, you are basically promoting the dissolution of the family because you're going to pay people. They were repeatedly warned that you are paying essentially people to have children out of wedlock. And if the father's there, they lose their welfare. And it, in fact, worked out that way. The black family has been virtually destroyed. There are now more black children being raised in single-parent homes than there were when the Democrats, who were the slave owners back in the day, when the Democrats were actually breaking up families intentionally. So there is now more illegitimacy, more single parents in black communities than there were during slavery days when Democrats were actually selling families apart and making sure to break them up. So he's actually right about this. So people booed and people applauded. Two or three people applauded and people were shocked and all this stuff. And he said, Kanye West said, they bullied me backstage. They said, don't go out there with that hat on. They bullied me backstage. They bullied me. And then they say, I'm in a sunken place. Here's the thing. Why is it even news that Kanye West supports Donald Trump? Why is that even news? First of all, Trump has improved the lives of black people in this country economically. Is certainly true. Why is it even news that a rapper is supporting him? It's news because the left insists on monopolizing the culture. It is not that they think like, oh, you know, we're really good at culture, so we're going to. It is that they insist on monopolizing it. Every single comedian on TV is left wing. Every single one. Every late night comedian. There's not one show. And if there were a show that had a comedian who was pro-Trump, it would drive everybody crazy. When Fox News came along, Fox News has like 1/10, I think, of the ratings of the networks, that the networks have like 10 times the ratings of Fox. Why is Fox stuck in people's heads? It's because they're the only people. They're the only people saying what they're saying. They're the only place you can go to hear Sean Hannity's point of view. They're the only place you can go to watch the Bret Baier news program, which is the most honest program on TV. It doesn't have a right-wing slant. And the point here is that on the right, I don't want right-wing culture. I don't want every comedian to be a right-winger. I don't want comedians to be right-wingers or left-wingers. I think you can laugh at everybody in politics. You really can, because they're all what we see in front of us. They're all pretty funny. But they want monopoly. They want only one side to speak. They want silence on the other side. And we have let them get away with it. And it really, really has been a mistake. Because of that, that they can sell this Brett Kavanaugh narrative. It's because of that the conversation, we are always reacting to the conversation, never making the conversation. It's because they monopolize the culture and insist on monopolizing it that we are always fighting a rearguard action against left-wing tyranny. And we have to keep it up until we take over the mainstream. All right, that's it. I got to say goodbye. I will be back again tomorrow. I'm speaking up in Santa Barbara at Westmont College. my old stomping grounds of Santa Barbara, and I used to go to Westmont's Church up there. If you're in the neighborhood, drop by and see me. If not, come back here tomorrow, and we will be back right here. I'm Andrew Klavan. This is The Andrew Klavan Show. The Andrew Klavan Show is produced by Robert Sterling. Executive producer, Jeremy Boring. Senior producer, Jonathan Hay. Our supervising producer is Mathis Glover. Technical producer, Austin Stevens. Edited by Alex Zingaro. Audio is mixed by Mike Cormina. Hair and makeup is by Jesua Alvera. And our animations are by Cynthia Angulo and Jacob Jackson. The Andrew Klavan Show is a Daily Wire Forward Publishing production. Copyright Forward Publishing 2018.